I want to talk to you about the paradox of wintertime, the paradox of the holiday season. In the winter, we protect our physical bodies without question. Hat, scarf, gloves, boots, of course we do. We have to. A thought occurred to me though, how can we protect the parts of ourselves that other people can't see, i.e., our energy and emotion bodies? How can we protect those parts of us during this time of year? Winter compels us to slow down. Winter beckons us to conserve energy. The paradox of it is that your drive and motivation to do things, to socialize, might not be as high as it is during other months. Understandably so. We know what winter is like: cold, dark, dreary days. That's one side of it. The other side of it is that it's also the holiday season, and so you might be more busy this time of year than any other time of year because you're having to care for your kids or your aging parent and go to work and prep for an entire holiday season. There's the paradox, right? We're kind of expected and obliged to do a host of other things outside of our typical day to day, and yet the season itself invites us to slow down. I'm not going to talk to you about setting boundaries and saying no, because I think a lot of other people are doing that, which is great and needed. What I want to invite you to think about is how can you shift your expectation that's going on between your two ears? Because you might not have a lot of time. You might not have a lot of energy. And so, given the capacity you have this time of year, can you give yourself patience and permission to take things more slowly? Can you give yourself the grace to not be as efficient? Can you adjust the mental timelines that you have in your head to reflect a pace that you are feeling, a capacity that you have for this time of year? Could you maybe accept or entertain that the continuation of Hanukkah might not be as you expected it to be, or your anticipated Christmas might not be the perfect Christmas? There's one thing to acknowledge that, and there's another thing to also be okay with it. Could you give yourself permission to allow that to be a reality for you? That can be really hard for people because it can be a meaningful time of year. Can you give yourself the grace for it to not be as you thought it was going to be? For it to not be perfect? Okay, so the question I have: how can you protect your emotion and energy body during this time of year when winter is compelling us to slow down and conserve energy, yet everything else is driving us to move quickly and move a lot? How can we reconcile this? Adjusting what's happening up here. Adjust your expectations of how much you can get done in a given time period. Adjust your mental timeline of when tasks are going to be completed. Perhaps accept that the holiday season that you planned for is not going to be the one that comes to fruition this time of year. And that's okay. It really is. It can be okay. I'm inviting you to give yourself more space to slow down, depending on your capacity and bandwidth, more patience, and permission to move at a pace that serves you and the other people around you this time of year. That's the paradox of the holidays from how I see it. Sending you lots of love and peace, and I'll talk to you soon.